Hey, welcome to Horns Up. It's the start of another brand new month. We're almost halfway into the year.
Yeah, man, I
Who would
can't.
have thunk we would have reached this stage the way we have?
Yeah, if you told me like in January that I'd be spending at least half the year or at least a quarter of the year indoors, I'd laugh at you.
Post summer vacation,
Yeah, yeah, extended summer vacation,
extended
something.
summer vacation, which nobody really asked for. Although we keep pining for summer vacations in what used to be normal life.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, on the show today, we are talking to one of the most hottest bands that's come up to the forefront within the past few weeks, and that's Chepang, which is a Nepali band that's currently based in the US. And we're talking about them because of their fantastic album, Chatta, which is probably one of the maddest pieces of extreme music we've been subject to this year.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy just to see how much it's blown up in the last week or so after it's released, and already people are calling it like the grindcore album of the year and stuff. So I'm like, wow. But like the thing about the album, right, is it's not your traditional grindcore. Like, all the grindcore purists, if there are, will be like, no, it's this, it's that. What is this B-side tracks that they've done and all of that? But I don't know, man. For me, this is like the moment. It's something as experimental and as crazy as something like this. I'm totally on board.
Mm, true, absolutely true. I think it's all right for us to say that this is a record and a band that pushes the boundaries of extreme music and is definitely a product of true and open collaboration. So we've got Chepang's Captain Bhudey and Bhotey Gore tracing the band's journey all the way through Chatta and help us understand the band's unique philosophy. They don't even think of themselves as a band as such.
Yeah, I mean, it's really great to hear their take on what a band is, what is grindcore, what is music, even the kind of performances and stuff that they've got planned out. It's really, really great to hear their ideas.
Yeah, but I have to mention at this point that the audio quality is a bit not up to our standards, but hey, that's the best that we could have done at that point in time for recording. So you just have to bear with that. So without further ado, here they are. Here is Japan.
We finally got what is probably the fastest band in this side of the world. We've got two members from Chepang. First, can you introduce yourselves for all our listeners?
I'm Sanket Lama. I'm also known as Bhotey Gore, also known as Master Finger, I guess.
Yes, my name is Chiti's Mokhtan, and they call me Grandmaster Bhudey. Apparently, nails in Melted Archives. I play guitars in Chepang. Gore is the singer for the band. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for
Right.
having us.
So, how are you
Thank you
guys
so much for having me.
doing today? And it's really, really strange times we live in. So, how are you both doing today?
I think my life in general is the same. Nothing has changed. I'm still working. Um, I mean, I'm used to working remote as well. So I don't know. I'm not a really outgoing guy. I just sit at home because I got two kids to look after. They're here, so I'm just here inside. Nothing has changed
But
for
that,
me except the fact that the scary part where if I go outside, if it hits me and then it goes to my family, that's the only part. But that's it. I mean, I'm okay.
yeah, it hasn't affected my life either that much, to be honest. I mean, I'm a very introvert. I stay home too, and the only time I go out is like go for like to practice a band or go play a show or go watch a show. But like, it hasn't changed that much. The show aspect is the only thing that has like drastically changed. So besides that, it hasn't really changed that much for me.
So, it's been just a week after the release of your latest album, Chatta, and already a lot of people online are referring to it as the grindcore release of the year. So, before we get into the album, I just wanted to get to know, the band slightly better. Now, Kshitij, you were part of Sangharsha, and Sanket, you were part of a band called Brute Mukti. So how did your paths cross? Do you all know each other from, gigs or bands in Nepal, or did you all meet in the US?
I mean,
I
it's
met
hard not to
Bhotey.
know who Chittis is. I mean, he was in one of the first punk bands from Nepal. It was called Inside Two Stupid Triangle, and he used to do vocals actually. And it was hard not to know him, his band, and what he did. And like even after I came here, like the Songwars was getting a little bit clout, in the hardcore scene, and the songwriting was really good. So it was hard not to know him. So and one time I met him in a show, in Boston. He came in, and that's when I was like really excited to see all these guys, and yeah, that's how I met him.
Yeah, basically, if you put it in like a sentence, Songarsa actually brought everyone together to form this band called Chepang. That's it. I was playing in Sangarsa, and everybody, Bhotey liked Sangarsa. We played together with his band in Mukti. Surya, the other drummer, liked Sangarsa. Gobind was SU. I think he went with us a couple of shows in Boston, Maine, doing videography and stuff. He's the other drummer. And this is how we came together. Sangarsa is the root of Chepang, how we formed.
Chepang is more of an extension of Songorsa, to be honest. Like that's how I look at it too, because we all love that.
Yeah, but I'm glad you brought up inside Two Stupid Triangles, because there was a website, Rock Street Journal, back in the day, and one of the few bands from Nepal listed on there. So even back in then, I remember listening to them. So yeah, it goes.
Yeah. That there was a picture of us, I think 4 of us together in our our toilet, actually. That was the picture we gave them. One holding a toothbrush, one holding something. It was cool. Yeah.
When was this?
Really old. Rock Street Journal. I don't know if you had it in your era, but we had this. The Rock Street Journal was the way for us to actually find out a lot of bands, not only in India but the whole world. They did reviews, they did interviews. It was one of the magazines, right, Peter? That's what I would say, right?
Yeah. I mean, Amit Sehgal, rest in peace, man. He really was a visionary. Did so much. I mean, Animesh also was on the forums and on the website, so he remembers it fondly, I'm sure.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
The magazine, the subscription, the CDs, GIR, getting exposed to Nepali metal through Rock Street Journal. I remember them featuring Mantra and bands like that, and of course your band too. All of that. Okay, so let's kind of bring it back to Chepang. I want to understand why name the band Chepang. Does it reference the community or tribe that is the first result of a Google search for the word Chepang?
No. I mean, there was one of those things that people were using that word as a derogatory term. Like as in like they say Chepang as like someone who doesn't know things. I mean, yeah, because like they were from a tribal group and ethnic group, and kind of backward. Like it had that derogatory term on it. So and Chittis came up with this idea. It was like, no, we're gonna be calling that our stuff that. So like people would change. We're gonna change the whole definition of how people look at it, the whole term. And yeah, and like now people don't use that as a derogatory term in Kathmandu, at least in the metal scene.
I mean,
we redefine the whole word.
Before us, if you look at it, like you said in your earlier conversation with Gore, right? Achut, the word achut that you used, is kind of the same thing with Japan, like the clan and whatnot. They're, people. There's a separate society. There's like really poor people, and like people don't want to associate themselves with Japan. Not as us, but the whole race Japan thing. But as Gore said, I wanted to change that. Now everybody's wearing Chepang shirt, and everybody talks about Chepang in Kathmandu. Like, if you go in Kathmandu, I think the highest band shirt with the kids are now is Chepang, and they don't realize what Chepang is. By the way, I guess they realize it, but in their mind now something has changed. So it's sort of like changing the view of what you think about Chepang.
So just because you put things in a different way and put it on a plate for them, like you can see how things change. It's not just like this bad name, but with any other aspect, any of the issues, or you take it, like it changes. Like the power is just like astonishing, amazing.
Okay. So why did you guys decide? I mean, I know Sangharsha was a hardcore band, but how did you guys decide to play grindcore? And because of what you said, is that where grindcore comes from? I mean, that's the tag you guys picked.
Is it immigrant plus grindcore?
Yeah, man,
So,
I don't think the idea was a grindcore itself. We just wanted to play really fast and heavy and see where it lands. Because like we didn't really listen to grindcore. Chitties didn't listen to grindcore. Like Govind didn't listen to grindcore. I probably did a little bit, but not that much either. So we just wanted to play really fast and really heavy.
Yeah, I think at that point in my life too, like I was playing a little bit faster. I mean, it was not really fast. We were going like more slow. Then I wanted to do really aggressive, like more punk based fast band. And then Govinda was, he was a black metal drummer. This is how we came out. We had no intention of doing grindcore in general. I had never listened to grindcore before. Probably the first album I listened to was in '97. Napalm Death, Utopia Banished. I think that was the take that I had. But besides that, I had never listened to grindcore, and we just
It was
started
only
there.
on the it was only on the surface level for me. Like like we're not really into that scene or following the scene. I'm not like
No, I
really ever
mean,
follow any
I
scene
didn't know
anyways.
grindcore, or I had no intention. We didn't have no intention of starting a grindcore band. It just happened, and then we were labeled as grindcore, and we said, you know what, we're immigrants and grindcore, so we call it a new genre, grindcore. How's that?
all right. And so, which brings us to Lati Charge, right? Which was
Yeah,
released in 2016. I mean,
yeah,
it really got noticed all over the underground. You guys got covered. Me here in India was listening to it, losing my shit, going like, "What? Who the hell are these guys?" Uh,
yeah.
and then I discovered like the roots and stuff. But what were you aiming for with that album? And did you expect the response that you all got?
No, no aim, no response, no nothing. Again, this is what. Let me get you a backstory to this. That record was actually recorded when Sangarsa went to tour. Kind of the last shows in Baltimore, So we were already going to play a show in Baltimore, and then we were starting this new band with Bhotey. We said, you know what? During that show, we're gonna record with Kevin Bernstein at Developing Nations in Baltimore. We'll see how it goes. So we just recorded, and things took off, and everybody liked it. I guess we really had no intentions of like this coverage or whatnot. We had no we had not defined a sound. It was just natural, like I would say.
There
I
was
think I
the
go on.
first tour we were going in. We were in a car, and the studio was there, and Govind was there, and we picked up Chittis from his work, and he sat down in the car, and we were like, "Oh, my wife is pregnant, and this is gonna be our last EP." That's what he said, because like we hadn't really released it or anything like that, and it's like this is just gonna be our last EP, and like this is it, and we're all cool with it. I don't know, we didn't really think anything of it, and here we are. We have like 4 records now, 5 records. I don't know. Every record is the last record for us.
Oh well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Hey, so at this point I should bring up, because I remember seeing a post you guys did while you all were recording Chatta, and I asked Kshitij, I was like, "Are you guys pulling off a Slayer by any chance?"
I love deflections. By the way, I love confusion. If you ever had a chance to interview Aaron from Narvaltar, you should do, because he's a grindcore encyclopedia. He will tell you how hard it is to work with me. Everything changes every second. Like this is why Chatta took 1 year. Actually, we were recording at the very moment this day last year in Colin's studio.
Last year, yeah, we were in the studio.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out in August or July or whatnot, and here we are after 1 year, because I changed my mind 100 times. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. Oh no, I can't do this. Kind of thing. So, and Bodego knows too how we.
Yeah, I know like the record is like just came out right now, but we're so over it because it was for last year. We're like moved on. We're like thinking about other songs. Like we're like so moved on right now.
Lovely. Lovely. So before we get talking about Chatta more in detail, I'd like to first understand, what does the word Chatta mean?
Yeah, Chatta.
Chatta is like a slang word when you say nice, like, okay, how was your date with your girlfriend, Was she hot? Chatta, you would say, yeah, nice, You see? So every besides Lathi Charge, I think the other record, Dadero, Tale of Wildfire, Chatta, it does not have any meaning with the album in itself. It's just like deflections, and it doesn't mean anything. It's just like the next album is gonna be
we're
called
very spontaneous band, but like whenever
yeah,
we decide with a word or something like that, whatever comes in that moment when we're all there, whatever comes in our
yeah,
mind, like we just say that and we just use it.
yeah,
Because
exactly.
that way we keep it organic, I guess.
I
Okay.
think we were using that slang for a while in our too. So we have this chat going with the band members plus other friends called it's the group chat is called Asli Grindcore. Not Asli Grindcore. I know you guys probably know what Asli and Grindcore is. Core meaning core. Yeah, in there we were using the word Chatta a lot of times last year. So we decided, you know what?
So the word for
Let's
last year was Chatta, and that's the album Chatta, and this year is Swata. So you never know.
next record probably is Swatta.
So is it chatta as in like nice, or is it chatta
Yeah,
as in like nice?
Yeah, just nice,
nice.
just nice. Not nice,
Nice.
long, but nice. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Chatta.
Okay, so coming straight to the album, you'd sent me the album, Kshitij, and I still
Yeah.
remember going through like the first 3-4 songs, and the
Uh huh.
initial reaction I had was, "You guys are crazy." I mean,
Yeah.
you did mention to me that
Mhm.
a lot of it was improvised, and talking about the whole process right now that you did. How did it all come together? I mean, was there some sort of plan, or was it just like a spontaneous whole recording process?
So I would say the album in itself, the way I mean, it's not the album. The main core of the album is not spontaneous because actually me and Gobind and Bhotey, we worked hard on it because the way we wrote it was like we wrote each song as if it was a flow of song, right? So we started with song number one, we finished that. We went move on to song number two. So the whole record is really feels as one, the side A part, from one. Besides, I would say the number 13 song Trishna, which is more spontaneous. So the concrete part of it was not spontaneous, but the other parts to it, with the saxophone, with the electrical acoustics, uh, calling shredding, diva shredding. Oh, it's probably it's a little bit spontaneous in the sense.
The
Yeah,
main core of it is like because I know like Chidi's worked a lot on like the flow of the thing because like sometimes even believe it or not I still don't know the song names. I know I wrote the lyrics. I don't know and I don't even know like which one comes in first or second because like we flow in a certain way that when we start because even when we play it live we play from the first song to the last song like it's one song. So I don't know which song comes in which number because we play it that way because it flows so well that I
yeah,
don't need to know it.
yeah. We nowadays except one song, we play the whole song like on the flow, and it's like one song. You don't even know. It's just natural. So this is how we wrote that stuff.
Yeah.
Every
So
song is complete in itself, but it's a puzzle kind of thing. But the whole album is complete too. It's just like one big song.
yeah.
Well, which is a beautiful concept. Like I give like a lot of props to Chitties for that. Like he was like I remember at 5 in the morning he would like send us like riffs straight by his mouth. He goes like, "How is this?" Like 5 in the morning. He's like, we barely just woke up and he's like, "It's good to go. Like let's do this."
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, but if it's like meant to be one whole song, how does that translate to when you eventually perform it live?
We
You
are.
guys
I
Play
mean,
remember
from
each and
top to
every
bottom.
each and every riff, each and every turn, each and every nuance, or is
what
it
do you mean?
massive like improvisation? If
No,
when
no,
you're
we play the
performing at
song
once.
as a whatever it is. We just play the whole thing.
Hmm.
Yeah,
As like
and
one big song.
if you take now, we have a new member which is Derek. We call it Reckless Life. He does our samples and he does electronics for us. The saxophone part and everything he plays it on the sample, from the
Oh,
start. But then he adds a layer of electronic and noise on top of the samples. And in between the songs, when we stop, there is a sample or there is this kind of noise going on. So it's just like a one like big thing going on. So it's
yeah.
pretty sick.
So you did talk about this a bit earlier. So on the opening track, right, Pahila
Mhm.
Bait,
Yeah,
you hear the initial part, which is a saxophone. Now that's an
yeah,
instrument that you don't normally associate with metal, far
yeah.
less like with the genre like grindcore. So
I heard.
uh,
Yeah, go
Mete
on. Sorry.
Ramison, right, who's
Yeah,
contributed to
Rasmussen.
it. Rasmussen. How did she become part of the album? How did that come about?
So that is more to do with Bhotey, Gore, probably me as well. So before Mete, we made Tashi Dorze. I don't know if you know. Tashi Dorze is like a really great improvising acoustic jazz artist that improvises. He contacted us in Instagram, and that's how we talked. And at one point, I think he was going to tour and come to New York City to play with Mete. They play as a duo.
Yeah.
And this is when we thought, like, let's try to align our dates, our recording dates when they come, and maybe they can contribute. We never thought like, okay, it's going to sound cool. I don't know how it's going to sound. We just came there, and then I think we had recorded all the drums and the guitar part and everything. I don't know about the vocals, but then I just told Mete, because I had in my mind, like, you know what, if it would be cool in the intro and a couple of songs in the middle, and at the end we all do free jazz stuff. And they came in, they probably stayed 2 hours or so, right, Bhotey? And
Yeah,
then
they didn't even say that.
finished their stuff.
They were playing a show that night.
Oh, wow.
Exactly, that's what I said.
Yeah. So they came in,
to
they
play
did
the show.
thing where she's like, she banged it out, and they were like, all right, peace out. And actually, I went to the show too later on. Yeah,
It was
so great.
So Kshitij did link me to the show that they did. I'm not sure if it's the same one, but yeah, they're quite a crazy act. Other guest appearances on the album, I mean, you've got the grindcore legend Takafumi Matsubara, Tashidori, of course, you said, and of course, someone who we've spoken to on the podcast, Colin Marston. So, I mean, Colin produced the album, so he was in the studio. But how did the rest of them kind of become part of or contribute to the album?
So I think the way it works, I am, like I said, really random, like the way I think. So while recording the songs, and I started to think, oh, you know what, in this part, Colin would like just leave it, like I won't play anything. Colin will play tapping 1,000 taps on top of it. It might sound cool. This is how I had the stuff. And for Takafumi too, like while recording the two songs, I thought, you know what, let's do a double shred stuff. At one point, Takafumi will come, and then other point, Divas will start shredding too. So it just feels like a blur. I think the number 12 song at the end, it just feels like two guitars going left and right, kind of thing. That's how I, on the spot, basically. While recording, I thought about it. That's me. I mean, it's Bhotey too, and as a band, we are really sporadic, and the way we think. I think in live too, we have done like free saxophone jazz on top of our grindcore set.
Yeah.
We have done freestyle rap at one point. While we did, let me tell you a story. We did a tour with this band called Test in Brazil. We played St. Vitus. And while playing, I was like, you know what? It would be cool once we finished. Govinda walks out, and the drummer from Test joins in, and we have a friend that raps. Deepesh's friend, the other vocalist friend, he will rap freestyle, and then Divas will play free solo on top. And we did it on the moment, on the spot, no practice.
On the spot.
Everybody was like, "What the fuck is going on, bro?"
So, the main skeleton of the song, we all know what's going on, and we keep it very simple. But everything else on the top, and we improvise on it. So that way, every show becomes different too. And we're not covering our own song every single show. We're giving something else to it. So you can come and see our show like 10 times in a row, but you will see something different every single show. We never do the same thing again. I don't know we've ever played the same set ever in our life. It's always something different. And when we walk in, I have no clue what I'm doing. Anything can happen. So you just have to be ready for it.
Wow.
So last show we played in Brooklyn, Brian Fardo, he joined in the drums, and all of a sudden he just dropped his guitar because he was like, oh, I don't have strings anymore. He broke his strings. And Takafumi was shredding, and Brian Fardo was on the drums. I was like, I guess Brian is on the drums now.
That was it. Yeah. I broke all my strings during our set, and the next one was supposed to be Takafumi to play his song. And I just went. We were like intense. Everything was going on. I just walked out of the stage, and they were waiting for me. These dudes were waiting for me.
We're not done it.
And then all of a sudden, Brian comes in. I sent Brian in. I was trying to find Brian. All of a sudden, he joins in, and then another band starts. Takafumi's band starts. Govind goes out, Brian joins. It was crazy. Yeah, that
You
was a
you
nice
have
show.
to be very extremely open-minded, and when you walk in, like, and not just in a live show or like even go into a studio, you have to be so open-minded that anything is possible and do not hold back. And like whatever you want to do, creativity, whatever, like you focus on yourself. Whatever comes from the other end, don't try to control it. Just let it go. And everybody that way, like everybody has like 100% creative freedom, and nobody is like trying to dictate what the other person is doing. Like you want to come there and just do a random song and like just want to sing it, do it. Please, by all means. Like nobody's gonna stop you from doing it. Make sure it's good, but like just do it. So that way
Okay.
it just sounds crazier and crazier. Like if you're listening, there's like 14 people that work on this album probably, but like nobody is like butting heads with each other. It's like it kind of it works out. So maybe
Okay.
that's the reason because like everybody has their own creative freedom. We don't dictate, but like the skeleton thing, we write it, but after that, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Nobody cares.
Hmm. That's really awesome, and that's such a different philosophy as such from most other bands or anything of that sort, especially within these kind of genres of music. So let me phrase it in this manner then. When there is so much of creativity and when there is so much of freedom that's allowed for all the members of this band or for all guest musicians, etc., how do you guys know what is Chepang level of quality?
Nothing.
There is no quality or stuff like that. I mean, for we like I mean, we don't think we are a band. It's just like we're brothers. Like it's a family kind of thing. We just go to the studio and having fun. Like there's no band number like set number of people. Like we don't think like that. It's like anybody can be like we have this collective called Gurkha Commander Blast Team, and like anybody who is in there can come and do whatever you want to do. So if you don't have that mentality of a band, it doesn't really matter. So do whatever you want to do. So it just makes you honest that way.
This goes, I think, to your question. This goes to the whole fact of how metal in general has been so generalized, where people make these rules. It has to be triggered. It has to be played in metronome. It has to be a certain quality. The mastering, the mixing, whatnot. We are really the opposite of that. The way we believe things. You know what I mean? For me, in general, what is the point of playing like this aggressive hard, like antisocial music if you want to put it in a box? I don't want to do it anymore because that's not me. you know I don't want to saying, I want to play this type of music, this type of quality or whatnot. This is how the band works in general. So quality really does not define us. There is no quality. Zero. We are all shit. That's what I say. You
Spoken
do
like a
whatever you
true,
want.
Yeah,
spoken like an
Yeah.
that's the whole.
absolutely true
It,
punk and
the
grindcore
whole
band, I must say.
the whole point of it, like playing an extreme music, is you're being rebellious to a certain thing, like it's called anti-music or grindcore stuff like that. If you're not living up to it, what's the point of even doing it? So
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm not playing
Especially
any
I think,
True,
classical
true.
music.
I get that.
especially, and I think if you look at it, especially in grindcore, there is a level of grindcore police. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
Grindcore cops, false grind, gore grind, death grind, BPM, and all of that stuff. And we are not that. We are. Don't call us a grindcore band and then pull us in all these subgenres and rules and whatnot. We are not that. We look different, we play different, and it is what it is. This is natural for us. Yeah.
Okay, so then allow me to ask you this. The kind of music that you guys are playing, it's similar kinds of music are largely known for a message of dissent or just as a vehicle to voice some ideologies or opinions or something of that sort. I mean, we get some idea of the songs because of the similarity with the Hindi language, so we
Hmm.
can make out a couple of words here or there. Overall, really, is there some sort of a message that strings the entirety of Chatta together?
The idea of
I would.
Chatta itself, it doesn't really. I mean, the lyrics is it doesn't really coincide together. Lyrics is like more for poetry I wrote for this album.
Okay.
Yeah, like I write up more about like the social political issues and stuff like that. But like and again, I don't really like usually I would write something a summary kind of thing in English, but this time I didn't want to write anything at all. Like I don't know why. Like from I don't know the exact reason. It's very hard to explain. From the gut inside, I did not want to translate. I just want to just let it be, just the way it is. I don't know why. Like she's been asking me to translate it for some reason. I just don't want to do it. And like again, going with the gut instinct, maybe there's a reason for it. Someday I might be able to explain it, but I don't know. Like it's
I think
Okay,
it's
fine.
personal. It's he has his own personal lyrics in there. The way way he works like 14 hours and shit like that. Here in the states and how to still he's the same shit where he was like 10 years ago. But there are some lyrics as well where he does talk about socio-political issues where he expresses his discontent for whatever is happening not only in Nepal but in the whole world in general. So yeah, there is that root of punk, stuff
that
in there.
there's this last for the last song. I remember. I was living in Boston at that point, and I was coming to New York to practice, and it was on the Chinese bus, and I fell asleep. And right when I woke up, it was like over the bridge, and then I could see the whole New York and the Manhattan lines and stuff like that. And for some reason, it clicked in my head that we're trying to play God, and we're not actually becoming human, and we're trying to act God. And it just clicked in my head, and that's what I wrote down. We're trying to play God too much, and that's one of the lyrics for it. Like it's something like that, like what I feel. Hey, I just write that, and there's like no. I'm not trying to start a movement or anything like that. It's just like my
There
feeling
is one line I really like what he did for the first time in my life. I really like his lyrics. Because I hate vocalists and I hate lyrics. I don't give a shit. I'm sorry. Anyways, there is one line that he says really means a lot. He says, I think it's number 2 track, right? I don't know. Brahmit. He says, Parivartan dhong matrai ho. That means change is just a fantasy or fucking. Well, how do you say it in English, bro?
Don't. Change is just deception. It's just
Yeah, it's a
just
deception.
different
Dong is a
tactics.
deception. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I cannot trust. Yeah, that line I liked it. That's the only line I like it up from the album. Huh? Everything sucks.
No, you know what's really funny? I think in 2019. Oh, he sent me a message. He was like, "Yo, this lyrics is really good." From Latte Charts in 2019, from like 3 years later on, he was like, he finally read the lyrics. I was like, "God damn it!" After 3 years, like really.
I'm sure he was doing like a repress or something and was reading.
No,
Okay,
I think it was to do something with the legal thing, but we're not gonna go with that.
okay.
All right. All right. So we've spoken so much about this album. We'd like to play a song from it. Which one should we play and why?
Let me think. Whatever. Okay, let's vote what he wants to play and then mine.
Let's play Pakhandi.
And Pakhandi. So Pakhandi, he likes the most generic song. Obviously, he's a vocalist.
Oh man, I really like the lyrics too. If you want me to translate the lyrics on that one, then
Okay,
the
let's
group
let's
thing,
play let's play Pakhandi and tell him what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Sanket, what
So
is Pakhandi? What did we just hear?
Pakhandi means hypocrite. That's what it is. And there's this part that I say Ladokha Machikne Pakhandi Rudiwadi. So Ladokha means eat my dick. Machikne means motherfucker. Pakhandi means hypocrite. And Rudiwadi means conservative. Someone who carries a conservative. So yeah, like I'm flash saying that it's kind of related to people who like want to talk too much about separating things, like putting up borders and things. It's like, oh, you are this, I am that. Um, so the song is about that, and I don't like that concept of borders in general. I believe everything should be free to travel and stuff like that. There shouldn't be any constant. And let be open borders all over the world, and let like free migration happen and see how the world transforms. Maybe like every issue the world is seeing right now is because of borders. I don't like that concept of borders. And so the song is about that. I love it. Love doing that live, just because it's like catchy and stuff. I love it. I love it. I know. There's like a whole issue going on between in Nepal and India about the border issues.
The migrant workers right now. Yes.
Yeah. And I'm like sitting there. I was like, yeah, maybe like don't have a thing called border and see like nobody would have any issues right now. Why are you even like fighting over things that are imaginary? And somebody did like sign a contract like 100, 200 years ago. It's like I didn't sign that contract. Why are we all doing like? Why are you separating a line? Like, why are you saying that you were different than I am? We are not. Nobody's different for anything. Like I don't get that thing. It bugs me a lot.
Fantastic. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Coming back to the album. Let's just focus a little bit more on it. Let's talk about the B side of the album. That's a huge talking point in most of the reviews too, because all those remixes, right? The 4 songs, the 4 remixes, remixed by artists like Def Kids, Test, and others. Why were these remixes necessary, and what purpose really do they serve? And like, let me put this one way. I'm being very honest here. I really enjoyed those tracks. So don't go by most of the reviews. I don't know why they seem to be dissing it.
No, so they'll. I mean, I love the reviews, what they wrote. Thank you very much, around who like this and second writing reviews. But there's another point that you're not seeing it. We don't. Again, we're not a band. We collaborate with people that we connect with. And if somebody can do something else besides just playing instrument and crying, if they want to do something, then we want them to do it. We want them to collaborate with us. And all those remixes are part of those. And looking at the bigger picture, we're not just a grindcore band. We're just trying to make music in here. And it doesn't like all the like for the grind elitists and cliches, that's like one of the biggest fuck here. Like we would do whatever the fuck we want to do. And you're like, I'm not gonna listen to you. If you want to put remixes in there, that's why we're putting remixes in there. So like, it doesn't have to be a grind or strictly just grind. Fuck that shit.
My inspiration of putting that remixes is a Rob Zombie, more human than human. I am more grindcore than you. More grindcore than grindcore.
Yeah, it reminds me of that Brian Potion song, right? He did that Brian parody song,
Metal by Numbers.
Metal by Numbers, or more metal
I've
than
never
you.
heard that. I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah. It's funny.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on, adding EDM or adding whatever, making a remix, it generally, if done properly and if done with some love and with done some respect, always yields good results.
Yeah.
So the track with Reckless Life, the reason that we're here in our band now, because that when you play it live, when that noise is coming and we're playing live, you have no idea the intensity that comes in. Like it hits you right in your face, like the PA hitting on your face, like all extreme noise, and we're going crazy in the first place. And when the crazier noise comes in the face, it's like, talk about grindcore. It will blow your mind, guaranteed.
Yeah, I can absolutely picture that, man. Like that level of bass and that level of sub bass just hitting you. Woof. It'll be fun.
Yeah, he nowadays in the live when he plays, once we're done with our set, he goes on plays that too alone at the end, and it pretty sounds gnarly. And the fact that it pisses the the sound engineer, because he's almost there clipping everything, So yeah, usually when we do sound test, he is like, can I get more of this, like outside in the PA? The engineer will be like, no, bro. That thing is already clipping everything. It's clipping, and I love the fact that it's clipping everything. He blew up two of our monitors in our practice.
Yeah, on the first day.
Yeah, on the first day. He joined, actually he blew up 2 monitors, I forgot, And we had to get a whole set of PA, like professional set of PA, just to have him on the band, because he blew up everything.
So Animesh talked about it, but what I love is how somebody described this, the B-side tracks, which they've said a relentless headfuck in a gnarled web of gabber, electro, and dub hybrids. I mean, how do you go about creating something like this? Because I mean, uh, was it something that you decided similar to how your strategy was earlier? Who works on which track, or did you just like take it like Reckless Life here? This is something test. Of course, you did a split with them. How did that come about?
I actually forgot how like Cheetahs like kept talking about like having remixes on it.
Yeah, yeah. So
He probably remembers
what
that.
yeah, what stems out of it is that I knew Reckless Life what he did, and I knew others what they did. So I thought, like, why if I give stems of every instrument and give them whatever they want to do with it, let's see what it comes out, and that's what it comes out. There's no intention. And again, Lobby did something with the dubstep, the first track. I was completely amazed. I did not, I did not even realize like I had not hoped like I did not have like it was like crazy. I mean, it's just random. Everybody did this shit. So
There was supposed to be one more track, which never got made, which is with Sir Vix, I think. But he couldn't finish on time. He was on a tour, and I was really looking forward because he is even one of the other crazy motherfuckers.
Okay.
But that couldn't be. He couldn't finish on time. But yeah, I mean, even like when I listened to the first time, it blew my mind. I was like, how did that happen? Like, I didn't see that. I didn't picture it. And that's the best part about it. Like, you will never know what's gonna happen until the very end. Like at that point.
Yeah.
yeah.
So you did mention this earlier, and again, I'm calling it a label. You described it as a collective, the Gurkha Commando Blast Team. I mean, last year you all put out the excellent Takafumi Matsubara album. Do you plan on doing something more? Any more releases? What's the plan for that?
So I think the second release from that is purely us. The second release will be the band. I don't know if you know Bandit. Do you know the band Bandit?
Yeah. Fucking love them.
Yeah, so they're full length, which they are recording soon. It will be probably out this winter. That's the second one we're doing. I think we want to do like one release per year.
Okay.
To keep it really, because it's a lot of work, Because I am the one who's shipping. Fuck you, sucker.
Well, we're like, oh, let's do it. I'll help you out. The pandemic happened. I can't even go now. But the records is with them. I don't even have like a copy of record rate because it's with them.
All right.
But if you go back to Gurkha Commando Blast Team, so what we started was like a collective, right? Now what has morphed into something more than a label and a collective is that now we're a franchise. You know the way franchise works in a band? I don't know if you've heard about it. So we have members in every continent. They perform as Chepang. So we are Gurkha Commando Blast Team Incorporated. So you can go to South America, you can see Chepang playing in a big show or something with different members. You can go to Nepal, you'll see different members. You go to Europe, you go to different. Maybe in India we might have some people too.
Hey, I'd volunteer, man.
Yeah. I know you got bass. If you want someone
bass
going
and
crazy,
vocals. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, bass man. Like we have no use for you. We don't we use every instrument besides bass in our band.
Yeah, I don't know why. Bass is hated in grindcore for some reason.
I'll increase treble and reduce my bass. Now, while reading about your band as such, there was a lovely line that's on your Bandcamp page too, which comes from Toilet of Hell, which describes Chepang as the world's first Nepali grinders from the US, which led me to think of something. And this is a very honest, innocent question from me. Is Chepang in any way, for all of you, a way to stay connected to your Nepali roots, considering you guys are so heavily featuring the Nepali language, etc. on it?
The language itself is only because like I feel very comfortable writing on it. That being my first language. I am not a nationalist or anything like that. I mentioned before, like I don't like the concept of borders either. I mean, we happened to be born in Nepal by accident. I didn't write an application to it. I am not. I can't. There's no reason for me to be proud of that I was born, and I didn't write an application to be born there. Like I have nothing to do with it. I was born there. But it's just more of a comfort level. And it was the roots, I wasn't born. So that's the only side. And like, yeah, people write that way from Nepal too much. I mean, if I was given an option myself, I would never even mention that.
Okay. So I don't know if this is a good question to ask as such, but again, with what's happening in the United States of America at the moment, and the city of New York, which is a huge melting pot as such, and given the socio-political landscape, etc., what's it like for a Nepali band in New York?
It's great. People love it. We have so much support in here. It's insane.
That's fantastic to hear.
It feels like home for us. Every time we play a show in New York, like it feels like we're playing a home show. It's crazy. It's crazy. The amount of love we get, the amount of support we get, it's insane. It's insane.
So we do give back, meaning that we do go to other shows, we do branch out with other bands, we play with other bands. So it's just like New York has a really really good. I don't like the word scene, but it has a good support and every genre of music because it's such a big city with so many people, many different kinds of people.
Okay, which kind of brings me to the other side of things. I know you guys play quite often in Nepal, and in December you all played at the Silence Festival, and also a few more shows that you did. And now that Kshitij talked about the franchise where you all have different members playing, so what's the response like from Nepal? Are you all seeing some kind of heroes back then, considering all the acclaim that you all have got all over the world?
I wouldn't say hero. Just kids like it because most of the kids in Nepal they have access to music or whatever in the internet, right? So whatever is buzzing in the internet, they will listen to it, right? But they will move on. In 10 years, these kids won't listen to grindcore or Chepang anymore. So we're not
There's
heroes.
a hype right now, and so they're following that.
Yeah, we're villains.
I mean, there are people who really love us, in a sense that they really supported their, they actually listen for the reason that we play. And like Binod Karke, the YouTube hero of posting grindcore, he's from Nepal. He supports us all the time, but the rest is just hype, and it will filter out in a couple of years, and you can see that happening. And no matter what they say, grind is in the blood and metal is in my blood. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Yes, and how much bloody up left.
All right. But I must say, though, that all that hype is well deserved, which then leads me to the next question. And this is our final one. It could be perhaps the longest, which is what is really next for Chepang?
As of last week, we might have a different plan. I don't know what happened today. We woke up just now. I mean, our plan changed every single day, But 2 weeks ago, we had a different plan. So I don't know. Someday you'll wake up and feel in a certain way, something clicks in your head, and we share with the band, and
if you put things into perspective, where we are and what we have done, from 2019, because Chatta is from 2019, we've really moved on from that part, that phase. I think we're more moving into non-structured songs without structures, more free form, and that is what's coming in the next future if we do anything. And it will be called, again, like I said, like you said, and it's not a joke, it will be called Swatta, Swatta. That's where we are moving in general, the direction, the free form, more structured music that's hopefully we can pull it off. I have some crazy ideas that I've shared with the dudes. I think my idea is to play as two bands, left and right. One drummer left, one drummer right, and two different musicians, one guitarist, another guitarist on the side, electronics in the middle, and not playing the same as we play right now, but different in different times. And when needed to hit it, we play together at certain times. That's conceptually what we are thinking, but I don't know, it might change tomorrow.
So that's a conceptual thing. We're gonna enter with that, and I don't know how it's gonna come out and how we're gonna actually end up doing it, and which might be a completely different case when we record it, and when we do it live after that, which might be completely different. So that's Chepang for you.
Fantastic. Yeah. Wow. Awesome. I just hope you guys keep doing whatever it is you guys are doing, man, because you guys are doing something really fucking great.
Well, with the help of Colin Martin, I listened to the podcast 2 weeks ago. It was great.
Yeah, that was a cool one.
So much.
Yeah.
You got him with the adjectives, by the way. So Colin is a man you never get. because he's like a man of insight. He's an encyclopedia in terms of
Yeah.
life and music and genre. But you guys got him. You got him thinking.
Yeah.
He
You know,
had to think.
there's a saying I said, there's no God, no masters, no ideal, but there's Cohen.
We're keeping this one in for sure.
Fabulous.
He's insane. He's insane. Like there's a quote that he said in one of the other interviews. Says, "Sometimes imperfect is the perfect, because you can't recreate that."
Yeah.
The way he looks at things and the way he processes things is insane. And we align each other. Like when we go to the studio, we'll say something to him very vague, like because we're thinking in our head, it makes sense in our head, and we're like trying to explain that. In one shot, he will get it and like pull that off, like exactly. And I'm like, how do you even get that? Even I'm like only like trying to form that in my head, and he knows exactly what I'm talking about. He's a genius.
Yeah, I can't wait. So Kshitij was telling me y'all are doing the whole thing with Cult Nation next month. I can't wait to see that, dude. That'll be insane. Whatever y'all pull off, because I'm sure by then it'll be something completely different.
And the crazier idea it is, and come up with the most craziest idea and pitch it to Colin, and he will get even more excited. The crazier the idea, the more excited he gets.
So right now we're talking about technical stuff with the guy who's going to do the video and stuff like that. So we had no clue about these cables that he needed, called RJ45s and whatnot. And he was asking some technical, some technical video where you probably know, but we don't know. So I just asked Colin to hope he knows it, and he knew everything, bro. Like he knew like the RJ45s or what kind of cable you need, what kind of it was like. This dude knows everything, like cameras. I mean, he's an encyclopedia of everything.
Yeah.
And here's one of those things that I think he believes that the information should be free, and he's like very excited to share the knowledge. For some people who don't share the same concept, probably might think something else of it, because he's like a nerd. No, he's like he genuinely loves getting knowledge and sharing the knowledge.
Yeah.
So if you pass everything else, like he was like, yeah.
On that note, we've kept you for quite a long time. It's early. I hope this was a good start for you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
My brain went somewhere else, which is good. Yeah.
We've been talking for a while, Kshitij and I, so I'm glad we finally got to do this interview.
Finally, right?
Yeah, finally.
Wow, I can't wait to see Chepang in whatever shape and form, if they do finally realize their plans of global domination with a different lineup in different countries.
I mean, I think that's kind of what happened at the Silence Festival, because I remember talking to our friend Kaushal from Godless, and he was like, yeah, dude, I don't think it was the same lineup from the US that was there at the Silence Festival. But I did see a few videos, and it's absolutely crazy as I described them. And this is, of course, before they released Chatta, right? So it looked like a Chatta set.
Mm-hmm. Could this be a dawning of a new age or time when bands become multinational corporations and basically global brands instead of bands, and have employees, local employees, in a bid to go global?
You just made that sound like so corporate.
Obviously, I was having fun with it, because that's exactly what a corporate would do.
Yeah.
A corporate that's bent on world domination. Obviously, I'm not insinuating anything over there. I think Chepang are onto a fabulous thing, and if they do manage to do that, hey, the world's a better place for it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I completely forgot in the start, but big shout out to Anup Bhatt, the great artist based out of Bangalore and also manager for Dairaki. It's because of him that I got onto Chepang, because he had done the artwork for Sangharsha, which was the band prior to Chepang that kind of spawned it all. So yeah, I'm glad he put me onto them, and it's been like the last 4-5 years now.
I think Anup is slowly shaping up to be one of the most crucial representatives of the Indian scene as such. And this goes out as an open invitation. We definitely, like, we the three of us have already discussed recording a podcast with him, getting him as an episode, but We just haven't yet figured out what's the best way to do it because most of his work is so visual. If you've got any ideas for us as to how to bring somebody like Anup Bhatt on the show and what to talk to him about so that it doesn't get boring on an audio format, please do let us know. We are open to suggestions. You can do so by reaching out to us at hornsupod.com. We are also on Twitter. We are at hornsupod. I'm at Asmo Ani.
I'm at Trent Crusher.
Until the next time, horns up.
Horns up, mate.